I've been adventurous my whole life, and when I saw an opening on my calendar, I contacted treasure seekers and said, I'm driving over 600 miles and sleeping in my car. Any openings? Treasure seekers said, sure BBD, let's go shelling. Alright, everything's loaded up. I think I have enough batteries, ice cold drinks, some pizza, the AC's on. Time to head to Marco Island. I'll stay tuned, it's going to be a long trip.
Continue on I-75 south for 161 miles.
So have you ever driven over 600 miles to go shelling for a day? Let me tell you, it's not easy, especially for me. So on most trips, I stop a few times more than most folks. So I pulled over at Wawa, got some fuel, stretched a little bit, got some food and some drinks. Alright, so I'm back on the road, and like I said, it's a long trip, so let me fast forward to my next stop. What town are we in now? I don't know. What I can tell you is, stops in the middle of the night are always sketch. So I have some food and frozen drinks in my cooler. In addition to my normal stop in the middle of the night chores, I need some ice. I think they melted. Oh, there's a little bit of ice left in there. Well, I don't know if I want to drink one of these or take a nap. These are all for, yeah, that's called, ooh, those are cold. I'm gonna be sleeping in my vehicle, so I froze those. Mountain Dew's good, so they'll be ready for tomorrow morning. Alright, let's get the ice in here. Filming all by myself. Let's see. That's open. Oh, nope. Get the bag open. Perfect. The pizza. Let's see if I can prep that. Pizza, the breakfast of champions. Alright. Get that in there. Time to head out. Refueled. Both gasoline and Red Bull. Back on the road. 11 o'clock. Time to pull over and take a nap.
In a half mile.
If you've done any road trips, that destination sign really gets you excited.
To Florida 84 West, Napas.
But Napas? So now that we're close, all I have to do is figure out where I'm pulling over and sleeping. We got here safe and sound. It's midnight and I am beat. I need some sleep. So I am going to find a spot to pull over and get some shut-eye. I'll see y'all in the morning. Oh, man. Sleeping in the car. Oh, this is rough. But you know what? It's time to go shelling. Well, that was a pretty rough night. Tossing and turning. 2 hours of sleep, I think. I need a coffee. There's gotta be something around here. Oh, here we go. Good old 7-Eleven. A little breezy this morning. Might have to wear a jacket on the boat ride. But it's time for coffee. I'm not much of a creamer guy, but might have some today. Alright, so now that I have my caffeine, let me tell you about the last leg of the trip. So over all the years I've been visiting Marco Island, I've stayed everywhere from an Airbnb to the JW Marriott, to a no-tell motel, and of course my vehicle. If you happen to be staying on Marco, it's just a hop, skip, and a jump over to Goodland. You take San Marco Road, and you're there in a few minutes. If you're staying anywhere north, you're going to come down 41 to San Marco Road, you're going to drive that across in the dark, and you never know what you're going to see. You might see a raccoon, a coyote, a panther, Or... So now that we're turning right, we are on the home stretch to Goodland. We're going to pass the cool mural, and then we get onto the curvy road. You know, I always drive this curvy road, and I should have guessed. Yes, the foundation is made with seashells. How about that? A seashell road going into Goodland, Florida. Founded in the 1800s, Goodland has just over 300 people, and it's a jumping off point for adventurous shellers. Well, it looks like one other vehicle. My dad taught me, if you're not early, you're late. After enjoying the stars and mosquitoes, it's time to get ready. Grab my items, assemble a backpack, and it's time to head into the store. I think country stores are pretty awesome, and this one is too. Not only can you get your parking pass and a cold drink, look at it, you can buy seashells. Put the pass on the dash.
Personal flotation square, a little yellow flotation device behind our seat. Pretty much everywhere we're about to go. You got it. No need to swim. Plant those feet and start walking around.
I forgot what you know yet.
With a fleet that's hard to beat, you'll have about a 20-minute ride through the mangroves. So settle back and enjoy the ride out to the shelling grounds.
I'm out there the whole time with you, and I always have water, sunscreen, bug spray, first aid. If you need anything, don't hesitate to ask.
Welcome to the 10,000 Islands. Let's go shelling. This is looking pretty good already. Let's find our first cone. Look at there, false angel wing. Oh nice, that didn't take long. Oh, it's broken. Oh no, the heartbreaker. But that's what we're looking for. There's a nice lightning walk. Gorgeous. And look at the sun. What a beautiful morning in the 10,000 Islands. Let's see if we can find a rose. There we go. Look at that. Look at that, Spiny. So when we were coming out in the boat, one of the guests had asked, what's a good tip? Well, here's a good tip. Always check around the bases of these. I guess another one, safety. Always be watching where you're walking. There's a cockle shell. There's a pen shell. There's a broken whelk. There's a bunch of egg casings. Oh, there's some color. Another one teasing us. A broken true. Gorgeous color on that one. Pretty big lightning whelk. That one's broken. There's another casing. Wow, the sand is really squishy today. There's a small lightning whelk. We had that piece. Lots of shells here. And let me turn the camera on, you can see this. Look at all this. Oh, here we go. Here's lettered olive. You know, I've shelled this part of the 10K, and you know, with the storms and the tides, boy, this looks so different. All right, let's look around here. Another lettered olive. Let's go out here, see if anything got caught. Let's peek around in here. Fighting conchs. So a cardita. Lots of broken shells. We need a banded, an alphabet, and a Florida on the board. There's our first scallop. Let's check out this spot. Here we go. Look at that. Oh, let's turn around. Look at this. Let me tell you, this is what shelling is all about. There's a nice little spot. Prickly cockle. Move over here. There's some color. That's my favorite jingle right there, orange. Sunray Venus. There's another jingle. Oh, dropping everything. And here's some orange. Alright, so we're getting into the mangroves here. A couple areas to shell. Out in there, you can shell the water's edge. And then up here a little higher, the overnight rack line. So let's add a colorful moon snail to that list. Alphabet cone, Florida cone, banded tulip. There's a broken tulip. Here's a scallop. And then a colorful moon snail. Look at that juvenile fighter. That's pretty cool. When you're looking for the alphabet cones, you want to walk this edge here. You walk the flat out here and walk this edge, being a heavier shell. Unless you have waves, they generally don't make it much higher. Whereas you can find the angel wings up here. So an olive. Where is that tulip? Alright, I don't want to get all soaked and mucky, but I saw this sandy spot here, so I thought we'd check it out. And then a couple of these little pools. Where are the tulips? They must have heard us coming. Now when you see these shell packs like this, always slow down. I mean, look at this. This is just packed hard with shells. Alright, I'm looking to the left. Oh, I see something spiky. Nice. But the cones still elude us. There are some no-see-ums today. I didn't spray. Normally I spray every time. But the last time I was out about a month ago, I didn't experience any. So I thought, well, I'm not going to spray today. And guess what? They are like all over. Look at this spot over here. Look at that. There's got to be something here. You know, there have been times where I've gotten off a tour boat or a shuttle and found shells, you know, right there. But sometimes you got to get away from, you know, the spots close to the boat. Lots of arcs in here. But this is packed hard with shells. Let's look up in here. I've gone quite a ways. Not even an apple mercs. Lots of jewel boxes though. I mean, I've seen a couple that I've passed up even. Let's peek out here. Stand on that block. Pen shells. There's a spiny over there. I don't see any color. Oh, there's some color. Look at that. Rose Tellin. Okay. That one wasn't on the list, but we'll take that one. That's a pretty good find. What a beautiful day to be in the 10K. Even with the no-see-ums. Let's look up here for a tiny. Here's a stinky spot. Peek up in there. Nothing. Let's turn a little bit. Now, if you have a big backpack, you're so inclined to carry all this, you won't be lacking in cockles, fighting conchs, and quahogs. I mean, you can definitely decorate a garden with those, and look at them all over the place. It's a pretty cool looking slipper snail. We'll add purplish semele to the list too. Lots of flies in here. Sometimes move the pen shells, you can find stuff hidden underneath. You know, when you're walking along and looking down like this, and I just heard someone call at me, forget to look up in the trees. Look at here. Right there. There's an osprey on a nest. Well, there hasn't been any wind the last couple days. This might be a week or two old. Don't ever be afraid to come up here and look. I mean, look at all the shells. Yes, they're picked through, but you might find something hidden. There's a coconut. You come up here where everything's white, and this has been here for a while. You might find some color, like a rose, right on top. I suppose I should stretch a little bit and look for an angel wing. You can find those higher up. Being a little lighter, often with any surge, storm activity, you can find them up in here. And there's another tease, another broken banded. Let's peek around the base here. Oh, there's some color. There's our first pony. All right. have that down in my muscle memory. There should be another one right here. Sometimes you find a little pocket like this, and you know, just you pick up a colorful moon snail, maybe a really nice lettered olive, something with some color, jewel box, just all right in a line. There's another, oh, a couple of them. Look at that. It is so fun finding jewel boxes out here. In the Panhandle, you hardly ever find them this spiky. Let's see if there's another one here. A pretty scallop. Oh, I could just see a tulip right here. Tulip popping out. I don't know, I think the shells know they're being filmed today. They're all hiding. No apples, no lacies. Let's check the sand out here. I'm not sure how long this tide will last, but look at this. This is pretty low. Checking the water here. I remember some of my first true tulips I found in places like this. There's a neat looking crossbarred Venus. Alright, let's check up here. You look to the right, I'm going to look to the left. Hope I don't miss anything to the right. Well, there's nothing on the left. So let's look in here. See if we can find any color popping. A rose. A lace. A cool looking wormy. That is definitely a cool looking wormy. Watch out, step over. Alright, so I'm back. So remember I said maybe they know we're filming and they're all hiding? So I turned the camera off, I started looking around. Another jewel box. Little angel wing. And a purplish semele. One of my faves. But the cones still elude us. I have no idea where they're hiding. They're probably all right in one spot. So you want to know what else you can find when you go into 10,000 Islands? There's an apple murex. And here's a lace. You can see definitely different. Alright, what's over here? Look at that beautiful colorful moon snail. Here's one. Let me get a couple more. That's right up there on my list. Aren't those gorgeous? I think I like those more than alphabet cones. So those are some of the shells you find on tour. I just want to show them to you because I see Caitlin coming, and usually that means we're heading out to a different spot. So Caitlin came along and she's like, you want to try somewhere else? Because she was thinking maybe we'd have some better shelling, so we're just walking back right now. And then I found, she said, what haven't you found? I said, well, I haven't found a colorful moon snail, and there was one right in front of us. Alright, so y'all hang tight. We're going to head on over to a different spot, and I'm going to preserve some of my battery life. So get a cool drink, and I'll be right back in a little bit. Looks like we're heading out there. Oh, look at that. There's another sunray. Captain Jim met us over here.